Hey guys, let's be real for a moment. Money has always been evolving. If you ask your grandparents about how they used to trade, you'll hear wild stories. Back in the day, in the villages, people were literally swapping goats for sacks of maize. Like, I'll give you 2 chickens, you give me enough maize flour to feed my family. That was money. Then came coins and notes. Governments printed cash, and suddenly, whoever had paper was king. Fast forward, we got banks. Banks became the middlemen. Bring us your money. We'll keep it safe. We'll loan you some, but don't miss a payment or we'll auction your land. And then here in Kenya, we had a real revolution, M-Pesa. M-Pesa changed the game. You can send 50 bob from Nairobi to Kisumu in seconds. No bank, no check, no stress. That's the kind of innovation that makes people say, this is Africa's Silicon Valley. But now, there's a new kid on the block, and it's not Pesa, not Airtel money. It's Bitcoin, digital money. Money you can't see, can't touch, but somehow it's worth more than gold sometimes. Sounds like a scam, right? That's exactly what people thought at first. The story of Bitcoin starts back in 2008. Remember the global financial crisis? Banks were collapsing. People were losing jobs. Families were struggling to put food on the table. Out of nowhere, this mysterious person or group called Satoshi Nakamoto popped up. No one knows who they are, up to today. Like a ghost. They dropped this idea. Let's build money that doesn't need banks, doesn't need governments, just the people. Imagine someone just inventing money and saying, here, use this. That's Bitcoin. At first, no one cared. Fun fact, the very first real-world purchase with Bitcoin was in 2010. A guy bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins. 2 pizzas. If he had held on to those Bitcoins, today he'd be a billionaire. Imagine eating billions, literally. That story always cracks me up. But over time, Bitcoin grew. Tech geeks started mining it, which basically means solving crazy math puzzles with powerful computers. People started trading it, and slowly it spread. Now it's global. In El Salvador, it's literally legal tender. You can buy groceries with Bitcoin. Imagine going into Naivas or Quickmart in Nairobi and saying, Naip Sukuma Unga na Maziwa. I'll pay in Bitcoin. The cashier would faint right now, but in 10 years? Who knows? So why is everyone hyped about Bitcoin? One word, freedom. It doesn't care if you're rich, poor, banked, or unbanked. If you have internet, you're in. And we know in Kenya, a lot of people are unbanked. Go to Turkana, Wajir, or parts of Western Kenya. There are no banks, but everyone has a phone. That's where Bitcoin makes sense. Then there's transparency. Bitcoin runs on blockchain, which is like a giant diary that everyone can read, but no one can erase. If you send me 1 Bitcoin, it's recorded forever. No shady backroom deals, no bank officer deleting records. Everything is open, but let's talk real. It's not all rosy. Bitcoin is wild. One day the price is sky high. The next day it's crashing like Matatus at Machakos Junction. People have lost money thinking it only goes up. Imagine paying school fees today with Bitcoin, and tomorrow the value drops by half. The teacher will call you like, hey, parent, this money you sent is now only enough for half a term. Tafadhali hongeza. And scams? Whew, this one hits home. Kenyans have suffered. There was that famous BitClub scam. Thousands of Kenyans put in money thinking they'll be rich overnight. Some people sold land. Others borrowed loans. The promise was, invest 5K, get 5 OK in months. Sounded sweet. But in the end, they vanished with billions. And it's not just one case. We've had dozens of pyramid schemes, from quail eggs to cryptocurrency, and people keep falling for them. Why? Because we love shortcuts. Someone tells you, "Way, hi kichu itakupea pesa haraka," and our eyes shine. But Bitcoin isn't a shortcut. It's an investment. And like all investments, it has risks. Another issue is energy. Mining Bitcoin, basically how it's created, uses insane electricity. Whole countries are worried. Critics say, "You're destroying the planet just to make coins." Some developers are working on greener solutions, but it's still a fight. So, what does the future look like? That's the million-dollar question. Some people think Bitcoin will replace all money. No shillings, no dollars, just Bitcoin. Imagine being paid your salary in Bitcoin. Sounds exciting, but risky. Others think it will live side by side with normal money. Like, you'll have your bank account, your M-Pesa, and also a Bitcoin wallet. I personally think that's more realistic. Here's what we can learn. Bitcoin is like the internet in the 90s. Back then, people didn't understand the internet. Some even said it was useless. Today, look at us. TikTok, YouTube, even BigTimes Podcast wouldn't exist without the internet. Bitcoin might just be the same. We're still in chapter 1 of the story. But please, and this is important, don't dive in blindly. Don't put your entire savings in Bitcoin just because your friend said, "Bro, hi kichu itafinia tupate gari next year." Learn first. Start small. Be cautious. Because for every Bitcoin millionaire, there are 10 people crying after losing their savings. So BigTimes family, let me ask you, do you think Bitcoin is the future of money? Or is it just hype? Would you trust it with your hard-earned cash? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear real Kenyan opinions. And remember, this is BigTimes Podcast, where we break down these big, complicated things and make them real, relatable, and maybe even a little fun. Don't forget to subscribe, share this with your friends, and keep the conversation going. Because when Bitcoin becomes the everyday money of the world, you'll remember we had this chat first, right here.